now.
Fantastic. And we're live.
Do-do-do. And we're live. Hello. Welcome to Making Comics and Art. I'm Peter.
I'm Alison, and we're with our very special guest, who's muted.
Hi, I'm Nita Lanning.
Excellent. It's good to have you on the show.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for
Another
having me.
member of the Ragin group.
Oh, yeah. This is weird for me. I'm so used to being the one to contact and try to promote somebody else. I'm not used to having to promote my own shit.
Well, we like to spread the love around.
Well, thank you.
Our goal is to pretty much get everybody on here, so yeah.
Most definitely. So how you doing today?
Oh, doing great, man. Trying to get caught up on some things I let fall behind while I was focusing on getting some shows started. That's pretty much it right now. Trying to get a few more promotional jobs so I can make this beast pay for itself.
Right. How many
That's
shows we
everybody.
got now?
Currently we are running 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shows. 6 shows, 7 days a week. Because Daphne and I run on Mondays and Fridays to try to book in and keep everybody informed on what's going on with the network and new crowd funds. So, and we have 2 shows definitely in the lineup coming soon, and a possible third. So,
Damn.
yeah. And 8 shows. Hey, we're gonna have 8 if you
That's a lot.
count House of Bob, because Daphne has started doing that once a month.
I like
On
House of Bob.
Ragin.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. That's our adults only time. Let's see if we can push the algorithms and bots and see what happens, how long and how far they'll let us go.
Well, the goal is you want to wait 20 minutes, from what I understand, before you start doing anything. Once you get past that, you're good.
That, and you really need to make sure with YouTube that your video is clearly marked. Like you
Yeah.
need to go into your advanced age settings, make sure that you're at 18 and up only, include that in the description, and while you're having fun drawing porn, you have to make it educational. So yeah.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And we learned a lot the
That's
past 2 episodes with Daphne.
So for anybody watching that doesn't know you or the Ragin 2 network, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started Ragin a couple of years ago with a good friend of mine, Meredith Loughran. I met Meredith at the beginning of COVID, and she changed my life forever. She was the one who actually talked me into getting on camera the first time, and encouraged me to keep doing it under the guise of it was a health and wellness vlog, which at the end of the 30-day challenge, she came to me and said, none of this was ever about the health and wellness vlog. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And she's like, no, the entire point of this was to get you comfortable speaking live. And I was like, whoa, you bitch. And she said that she had been considering starting, her own podcast and to do promotions and interviews and whatnot. And she was looking for a partner, and she tested out quite a few people, and no one was consistent and no one stayed through it all. And she said, and so that's why I picked you, because you stayed. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like everybody else just eliminated themselves, and I'm like, oh, here I am. And so we started Ragin ABC, which the ABC was Asian versus Cajun. And yeah, we were promoting comics and whatnot, but we were also doing like stupid challenges and crap, eating Carolina Reaper peppers and bugs and all that other fun crap. And and we started growing. People started tuning in and staying for like the whole show and chatting with us in the chat. And I don't know, it just it just became part of life. It became as natural as breathing. And
Yeah.
you know, we had we branched out and were working with Randy Zimmerman for Arrow Comics. And you know, of course, everybody knows there was a debacle that happened, whatever, you know, which by the way, there are two amazing campaigns running live right now. One on Indiegogo, that is the Long Shots campaign. Make sure you guys head over there and check it out. Or if Indiegogo is not your thing, we got a campaign Kickstarter, the Fellowship of the Indies. So make sure you check either one of those out and show some love to my peeps.
Yeah. I'll make
And
sure to put the
unfortunately,
links.
yeah, please do, man. You know, those guys worked really hard on these amazing projects, and shit fell through and whatever. And as the shit hit the fan, shit started hitting the fan in my personal life as well. Meredith became very ill and was diagnosed with breast cancer and passed away within 2 weeks of being diagnosed.
It was rough.
Which ironically, it wasn't even the cancer that took her out. It was a blood clot. So it was like everything left the world in that moment. Like, and I thought that was it. It's over. You know, who gives a fuck what I have to say? Why am I here? Type shit. And it was hard. It was really bad for a minute. But just as fast as I fell, I had someone barking in my ear telling me, "Get back up. I got you." And that person was Daphne Lage. And really and truly, anything Ragin that remains is all Daphne's fault. Just in case, if you don't like it, it's Daphne's fault. If you do like it, hey, this was my idea. So we decided to pick it up and keep going. And after when things first started going down with the crap that went down with the other network and whatnot, Meredith and I had decided to shift gears, and we were wanting to branch out and create a platform for other creators where they could come and they could reach out regardless of their comic books, religion, beliefs, or whatever. And so Daphne and I picked up where Meredith and I left off, and we hit the ground running. And now we are producing multiple shows every day. And we've got more stuff coming. We try to have a wide variety because I want to get everyone's attention. I don't want a select group. So we've got rude and vulgar. We've got sweet and funny. We've got we try to have it all. But at the end of the day, it's going to be indie comics focused, and because that's where my heart is, that's where my love is, and that's what we're pushing.
Very nice.
So, and that's pretty much it. Like, and we're just moving on and trying to grow now.
Yeah, it's Art by Pal Horse. Hey, welcome to the show. My internet's so slow. Here we go. Okay.
ARPA failures. Nice.
He says, "Glad to see you on Twitch." Oh,
Told ya.
all you having a great day. Yeah. Okay. So for those that don't know, I'm co-streaming or whatever you call it on Twitch as well as my YouTube channel. And eventually I'll figure out how to add Alison's Twitch to it so we can stream there, because I got 17 people following me there, and she's got
she can do it in like 2 seconds.
So.
All she could do is go add it to your broadcast.
Yep. I worked in TV. It's all the same.
Well,
like that OBS studio thing, that's literally similar to what I used to use.
I got to do it before I already set up the episode today. So I got to do it before I set up the episode.
Yeah, we'll do it next time or something. Not a big deal.
Yeah. But yeah, I followed Meredith, and I was watching Ragin when it first came to be, and she's definitely missed. But it's great that you continued your great show, and that Daphne jumped on board with it. And now you have, I was counting the amount of people involved, but some great people.
Yeah, it's growing. Our numbers are growing. But in the beginning, it was kind of like that. Oh no, I'm all alone. And Daphne, here she comes. My Lord and Savior, Daphne Leish, and she, JD Calderon, of course, Randy and Luke, and my husband, C. Michael. I mean, I got to give him credit too. But if I spend too much time on him, people say it's nepotism. So.
Yeah.
But we now have right. So we've got somebody new joining us as a seat tonight and staying on for at least a hot minute, and that's Christy Shin.
I love Christy.
Which, by the way, don't forget she has Demon Bitch. Right now live on Kickstarter. She's getting closer and closer to goal. If somebody get her to 100%, so she'll shut the fuck up.
Yes.
I love her, and I want my book too. So please go back her.
I gotta back my book.
She'll be joining Randy and his panel on Zimcast, and Randy and Stone Abdullah as a host, which I think that's going to be a trio made somewhere. From somewhere. I'm not going to say if it's going to be for the good or for the bad, but they are all three crazy and they are all three knowledgeable, and I think it's going to be an amazing shit show. So make sure you tune into Zimcast. And let's see, we just recently added Mitch Rogers too.
Yeah, that's amazing. I worked on some pages that Mitch penciled for my friend Randy's book, Hawk in New York. So I had the pleasure. I never actually talked to Mitch, but seems like a cool cat.
He actually has a campaign himself.
Oh yeah,
the Boger.
Right
yeah, the Boger. Yes, the Boger. It's on a Kickstarter.
Right.
It's a Southern Gothic horror comic, and it looks really good. And Mitch needs to get out here and promote himself some more, so more people will become familiar with him and his work.
Yeah,
we love Mitch, and he's funny. He's a great dude.
And I was lucky enough to be on the first episode of Sketchy Saturday with Mike G and
Marvy. And Marvy. Those dudes, those are my love. like seriously, I think Marvy and Jimmy were like Mike Jimmy were the first guys who were like regulars showing up in our chat on Ragin back in the day, and so that was freaking awesome. I got a special place in my heart for those dudes.
Yeah, they're good guys and they do good work. And Randy was on the episode as well. Me and Randy were like the guests of that episode. And Randy invited me to his Zimcast, and I'll figure out eventually my schedule, and I'll get on there as well, for sure.
That could definitely work.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Anybody really, because Randy usually on Zimcast, he does an open call, and you can come in at the beginning or the end, whatever fits your schedule. They start at 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays and usually run till 10, 11 Eastern. See, I live in 2 time zones, people. So if I ever fuck up a time, it's because in this room right here, I run on Eastern. The second I open that door, I'm back in Central Standard Time. So it's a confusing life to live.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I'm like 20 minutes away myself. Yeah. So I understand.
But he runs he runs an open forum usually. He'll do a shout out. Anybody want to come in? Pop in the chat, say something, send you a link, whatever. So it's pretty chill. And let's see.
I think I caught one of their shows last week where they were complaining about Star Wars or something.
Who knows? They complain. They make fun of stuff. It's great. It's all around. But I'm excited for tonight because, like I said, I'm really curious as to how like they hit it off so well when Christy came on to do her interview on there, that I'm curious to see how they all flow as a panel together. I think it's going to be great. So, and then we have the saintly Pastor Luke Stone, who has the campaign running, by the way, on Indiegogo. Hybrids 1 through 3 is on Indiegogo right now. I'm not sure how much longer he has left, but awesome books. Check them out. They run along with Nick Tockert, who is another amazing guy. Nick is the ultimate nerd, y'all. Like Nick just won me over the first conversation we had. He's into role playing. He builds the systems out. He likes collecting dorky shit. He does fencing. It's like the complete nerd package. But anyway, Luke and Nick do Nerd Bacon on Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. They're a great duo. That's pretty much the only safe for work program we have. And yeah,
You gotta start somewhere,
right. And they're great, and it's been wild. It's been a ride. A lot has happened in a very short amount of time.
Yeah. I said I barely knew Meredith, but she seemed like a good person.
She was amazing, man. Just amazing. Like she's my world. That was my dude, my ride or die.
Are you any live events where you guys will get together, or is that a ways away?
I don't think there. We are planning on MegaCon, but not this year. Is for 23 because I need time to. I'm trying to get some of Meredith's works published posthumously. I had after she passed away, I went to Florida and got all the information off her computer, downloaded all her files and whatnot to bring them over here so that because she had so much going on, man. She is just like the ultimate creative. She had her toes and everything. She has some prose works. She has some comics scripted, like all kinds of stuff that I want the world to see. And so the plan is MegaCon 23. At least JD, myself, Daphne, my husband C, probably our daughter since she's starting to dip her toes in comics, and Mog Park will be meeting up for MegaCon, and hopefully there'll be lots of other people there, and we'll have books for not only each of us but also Meredith on the table. So.
And that's a Florida convention, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So.
Is that the one that happens twice a year, or it's only once a year?
It's once a year, but I think it's the biggest Florida convention.
It's huge. It's like 4 days.
Yeah, it's a 4-day convention. It is a massive freaking. Oh my gosh, that arena is so freaking huge. Like, if you have to go to the bathroom. If you're like me, like I have 4 kids, and it's like my bladder only holds for so long. It's like just you better freaking look up at the ceiling because that's the only way you're gonna find anything. Oh God, let me bitch for a minute. All right, so they decided it would be a good idea to write the booth numbers on the floors. That lasted all of like 15 minutes day one.
Yeah, if that.
So to find anybody, you had to like have like these certain key points. So Meredith and I last year there was the big yellow hanging Artist Alley sign, the 101, and a weird looking exit sign, and Mog Park had a hot pink neon cat, and it's like that's how we mapped everything and everybody in our heads. It's like meet me at the Mog cat, meet me at the Artist Alley sign. It was just a nightmare. It really was, but it was also probably one of the greatest fucking weekends of my life. And we drank entirely too much.
Well, that goes with anything. If you're going out and having fun, let's go get sloshed.
Like I was looking at the pictures and it's like there were 3 of us in that Airbnb. And like at the beginning of the trip, there's like a bottle of coconut rum, a bottle of Crown Royal, like the big bottles, big bottle of Crown Royal, big bottle of Jameson, 2 different types of vodka, and there, we set them all out on the kitchen counter. By the by the Saturday night after, or no, the Sunday morning after, I took a picture of Meredith cooking breakfast and all those bottles were fucking empty. Like, whoa.
That's not all right.
So EJB is here, and he says in Orlando, Florida.
Yes, it's
I might have to check it out because my brother's right near there.
It'll work.
A couple of my
down, see if
brothers,
any-
pretty much near Orlando.
Want to see Jimmy? Say hello. Say hey. How's it going? Where's Joey Q?
Yep. So that'll be fun. Good times.
4 kids.
Oh yeah.
Dear God.
I was at a point in my life where I was doing the Lord's work and making my quiver full. It's full of fucking batshit craziness. That's what it is. Like, oh my gosh, it was like I love them to death. I wouldn't trade any of them, but holy crap! And everybody was like, when they were little, because it would be crazy when they were little and their dad would work and I'd have to go somewhere during the day. They were the 3 youngest are so close in age that I had 2 in infant carrier car seats, 1 in a freaking little carrier on my chest, and a toddler holding my belt loop. And I was just strucking it around, and everybody's like, "Oh, I don't know how you're doing it." Let me tell you something. Those days were easy. My youngest is about to turn 13, and I am losing my fucking mind. It was so much easier when you could put them in a baby cage.
Yeah, because now they're.
Oh wait, we call those cribs. I'm sorry, we could put them in the crib.
Yes, now they're teenagers, and teenage girls are
Oh yes. And my youngest was always, I swear, when she was 3, she was sassy like she was 13. Little hip and hair flipping. Oh my gosh, it is. Oh my gosh, girl, she is so much worse now. Like it's crazy. Whew. It's like, and she takes after me.
I come from a family of 4, but it was 4 boys. So
boys
are easy to handle. Yeah.
They tend to be more problematic in the beginning.
Yeah, we have 2 boys. So it's 2 boys and 2 girls. We're tit for tat. And the boys are much easier than the girls. Now they have their moments where it's like, oh my gosh, why don't you 2 just pick a weapon, go outside in the yard. Whichever one of you comes back stays. But that's about it with them. The girls
have the Hunger Games in the backyard. Yeah.
Swear to God, be like, all right, survival of the fittest now, because I don't have time for this shit. Oh. But so far, they're all still here, so must be doing something right.
None of them have gotten hit by a bus yet.
And not yet. And I think considering I have 4 kids, and then the fact that we live in Louisiana where the kids are wild and rambunctious anyways, and tree climbing and still poking snakes with sticks, I've only had 1 snake bite, 3 or 4 sets of stitches, and 2 broke bones. So I think we're doing pretty damn good.
You see trees and stuff all the time.
That's right.
Didn't really go poking snakes very often because I wasn't stupid.
Well, this is the swamp. That's what we do. There's a snake with it. What kind? I don't know. Did you poke it?
Yeah, around here it's kind of easy. Is it a garter snake? Think so. Did it make a rattling noise? No, it was a garter snake. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I wish it was that simple here, I swear.
The actor from Prince Bride, however you pronounce his name, the lead, got bit by a snake recently.
Yeah, snake bites are not fun. I've only had one that landed me in an emergency type situation, but I've had several, and none of them, even non-venomous, have been fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Non-venomous can still be a bad bite. I mean,
Right.
they have jaw strength. Two shall enter, one shall leave. It's Thunderdome. Oh, Tina Turner.
Yeah, I've been bitten twice by venomous snakes. Once was a cottonmouth. That was the bad one.
I was gonna say that should be bad.
That was really bad, and it was all because my brother. This is why you don't cry wolf, people. Let me tell you, we found this old drainage system. Okay, because kids are gross, and we were completely unsupervised by adults. It was the 80s, right?
Oh, I've done stupid shit. I'm a child of the
Right.
80s.
We found this culvert in the woods behind the house where the ditches would drain off from the neighborhoods, but the water and created this big pool there that was deep enough that it was over our heads, and it was a great fucking swimming hole. It was almost crystal clear. And I was standing on top of the culvert getting ready to dive off, and my brother was like, "Hey, there's a snake by your foot." But he did that shit to me all the time. And so I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
Right.
And he's like, "No, look." And I did, and when he said no, look, the snake must have already been striking, because by the time I turned my head, I felt it hit my leg. And unfortunately, it hit just above my boot. And he's like, "Did it get you? Did it get you?" And I had so much adrenaline at first. I was like, "No, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." And then I saw blood on my pants. And I was like, "No, I'm not okay." And he's like, "What was it?" And I was like, "I don't really know." And so he jumps up there and he fucking grabs the fucking snake that had started to slither off by this point and slammed its head against the culvert and killed it. And I pulled up my pants and it was puncture marks. And I was like, "It's a cottonmouth." And he's like, "Sit down, just sit down." And so I sit down. He takes off running. Paramedics come. About 5 or 10 minutes later, by that time, my tongue's starting to feel weird and shit. I'm like, "Oh
Yep,
no,
that's the
this
poison.
is bad stuff." And I was really pissed because the paramedics, okay, we were poor. So my mom bought me a pair of Jabots the Christmas before. The only pair of Jabot jeans I ever owned. And I washed them fuckers every day so that I could wear them every fucking day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the paramedics cut my fucking pants off. Instead of, you could have taken off my pants. I'm screaming while I'm probably almost dying from a snake bite. "Please don't cut my pants. Please don't cut my pants." And I'm like trying to unbutton them. And they're like, "Calm down," trying to get an IV started. And it's just like, it was just madness. They cut my jabots, man. That was the worst part. Well, that and the antivenom, because that made me sick as shit for like 3 days. I puked and puked and puked and puked. Fortunately, I did not have a lot of necrosis, so I only lost a small chunk of tissue.
That's good.
But yeah, that was some mean shit.
Yes, that can really fuck you. Cottonmouths are nasty.
Oh, they're mean as fuck. And people are like, "Oh, well, snakes won't. They're not aggressive." I was not fucking with this dude. I was minding my business, about to jump in the pool of water.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, they're not overly aggressive. You get too close to them though, they're gonna bite you.
But yeah, and then there was one time I freaking stepped on a copperhead at night and it bit me, but they believed that it was a warning strike, which was a dry bite, because it got really irritated and stung like a bee sting, but never anything more than that.
Didn't do more. Yeah, that sounds like it didn't really get a venom injection in.
Right.
You probably had a mild one. In
Scared the shit out of me though. I'm like, "God, I'm gonna lose my toes."
Yeah, I've never been bitten by a wild animal. Bitten by a neighbor's dog.
Well, that's not cool at all.
No, they had a highly aggressive Doberman. And we had recently moved into this house. My brother and I were coming in from playing in the snow. The dog ran up and bit me in the hand. Just out of nowhere, ran up across and bit me in the hand.
Jeez, man.
So I cold cocked it.
Well, good. As you should.
7-year-old me then punched the dog. My mother was pissed.
Oh, I guess so. Oh my gosh.
There was no leash law at the time, and my father had gone over there, and the guy's like, "Well, there's no leash law," and he goes, "There is a dangerous animal law, though."
Right.
And he's like, "What's that supposed to mean?" He goes, "Things really worry me." He goes, "We're related to like every cop in this town." I guarantee the dog will go away. Never bit me again.
Never been bit by a dog. Had one chase me almost every morning for 2 years, but it never bit me. Like, I never could understand why the parents, like, we had this one house on the corner, they had a chow. And they kept him chained. I don't understand why they kept him chained. They had this huge fenced-in backyard, but they always kept this chow on a chain. And that sucker was strong enough he could pull the spike every time. And every fucking kid that had to walk past that chow to get to their bus stop got chased. It was like a rite of passage in our neighborhood. Did you outrun Purple Tongue?
God. It's funny too because I have like no fear of Dobermans or anything even after that. Just stupid dog, bad training.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of dogs. I'm not afraid of snakes either, but I respect them all more.
Yeah, never. Listen, I mean, we have rattlesnakes around here. That's probably one of the most. I have to look to see if there's anything else that's dangerous around here, but I know rattlesnakes are around. I've heard them. And they let you know if you're near them and all that stuff.
Right.
So, also, you can scare them off easy. So they don't want anything to do with you.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, there's that. I did have a friend, actually, she was over here and my current place, and she was helping me out with some stuff because I have difficulty moving around and things. So she's helped me clean a few things. When all of a sudden I hear, ow, come from my bathroom. I'm like, are you okay, Kayla? She's like, something bit me. And I'm like, huh, did you see it? She goes, no, something bit me and it's gone. And I'm like, all right, I go over and look at it. And I'm like, spider bite. And she's like, spider bite? I'm like, yep, black widow. And she's like, a black widow, what do we do? I'm like, you just got bit once, right? She goes, yep, that's already too late. And she's like, what? I'm like, you're fine. Like, do you have like a heart condition or anything like that? She's like, no, like, you're fine. And
yeah,
like, I thought they were highly venomous. Oh, they are. To infants.
Right. Right. Every now and then you'll get somebody that'll have a bizarre allergic reaction, but that's like very, very rare.
Yeah, well, it's like as I said to her, there are people who have fallen into entire nests of these things, and they're fine. They may hate themselves in the morning, but they're fine. Just like, yeah, I'm like, it'll swell up for a week or two. And she's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's because we get so used to the bullshit they show on TV. You know, they only show the extreme shit on television, people. It's for a reaction. And that's the reaction they want. They want you to be afraid. Oh my God, it's life-threatening. And, you know, because like the copperhead bite, even if it would have been a venom-injected bite, as a full-grown adult human at the time, I would have been fine.
Yeah, the copperhead venom isn't as bad. The cottonmouth,
no, the cottonmouth even still could really screw up even a fully grown adult male. Like it's, you know, it would have fucking if that thing would have gone untreated, it could have killed me.
Yeah, those are
especially because I was tiny at the time. I don't even think I was 80 pounds.
Yeah, so that had a high chance of killing you.
Right. And it was gnarly. And it was a full-grown adult, too, that did a fully injected venom bite. Like, I mean, he like, let it go. Like, there was venom on my pants. There was venom in my boot. I mean, he was letting me have it.
So it was a full-on spray. So, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing around here that I would immediately rush somebody to the hospital to when it comes to, like, animal bites and things, aside from, like, a bear or something like that, obviously, because we have those. We also have bobcat and other such things. What was it? Brown recluse.
Oh, yes.
It's the only one that I'd be like, hospital now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's funny, too. She's like, you sure it wasn't a brown recluse? I'm like, positive. And she's like, why? One, they're called recluses. Second, they don't go near water. Like, if you're upstairs above me,
Maybe.
I would say it would probably be a brown recluse because the area is abandoned. There's nothing in there. There's nothing up it's empty space. There's a hawk living up there right now. Actually, start flying there. Which makes me think it's nesting in there. I want to know how the hell it got in, but whatever.
It's home now.
Yeah. Well, I went out to my car to go to the hospital the other day to get my infusion, and I heard this screeching at me, and I'm like, that's a red tail. I'm like looking around, I'm like, what the hell? How did you get up there? Like, how did you get? I don't want to know. Because I have an owl that lives around here too, so don't have a lot of rodents.
That's always convenient.
And I live in the middle of the city.
Hey, even better. Even better.
I have mice that I've had at least two mice get into my apartment. I know how they get in, and I have 2 anti-mouse devices.
I've got a trio of trespassers somewhere. But I try to keep them out of the office because our human resources department lives in my office, and I don't want them to eat him. He's adorable.
Yeah, that would be problematic. Guinea pig or something.
We have a hamster named Dumpling.
That was
and he lives in here.
Yeah, and you don't want to live up to the name.
No. Oh my god, I just thought about that. Oh my gosh, that was kind of karma and bad.
First thing that occurred to me when you said it was named Dumpling, I'm like, oh, I see. You've named your pet after lunch.
He's a snacky snack. Yeah, he was making me nervous before I came on because, they're nocturnal. So usually during the day he's chill, but he decided he was going to run in his wheel, and it's like, I'm like, oh my god, what can I do to make him stop and go back to sleep? And it's like, here, you want some food? And he ate his bugs and went back to sleep.
There you go.
And then my Wi-Fi cut out for real. I was like, holy crap! Which, Daphne, I know I told you I'd pretend to have Wi-Fi problems as a joke. I shit you not. As soon as Peter sent the StreamYard, boom, my Wi-Fi connection dropped completely. So, but fortunately, it did turn back on. I jacked the neighbors for a minute. Thank you, Ashlyn.
It's me. I don't know if anybody else has this, but on Messenger, I would say in the last couple of months, I send messages. Some go through right away. Some take a couple of minutes, even longer. And I sent you the message, and it didn't go through. And I was like, oh, I'll send one to her Twitter. Oh, wait, I sent her a message. It's like, oh, crap.
You might have sent it at the yeah. You might have sent it at the exact moment the Wi-Fi cut out. Like, I kid you not. Because it didn't ping on my desktop, it pinged on my phone. Yeah. So that's probably what happened. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. I'm like, I'll be there in a second. I was like, oh my god, I have to get on here because everybody's going to think I did it on purpose.
You really just didn't want to have anything to do with this, did you? I see how it is.
It's weird for me. I'll go on chill streams sometimes just to shoot the shit or whatever, and I do the vlog with Daphne, but I'm like, I don't know, I'm a sidekick. Daphne's a superhero.
You're doing fine. This is a chill. Our stream's a chill stream. I mean, yeah, we could say that we're doing these hardcore interviews, but no, ours is a chill stream.
No, I mean, trust me, you would know if it was a hardcore interview by now.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been talking about being bitten by various animals.
I know, right?
I mean, I'm sure it has some entertainment value to people, but it has really nothing to do with comics.
No, it doesn't. But we could talk about comics too if you want. I mean, whatever.
I think the old was it the song? Was it Black Gold? I think by Soul Asylum. His sister got bit by a copperhead snake.
Oh my gosh, I love Soul Asylum.
I think that was the first line of the song.
Oh, my jam forever was Runaway Train.
I think that was everybody's jam in the 90s.
It was like put on my headphones, hop on my bike, and fucking just hit the road one day. I'm like, I'm done.
Mine was I Want Somebody to Shove.
Oh yeah, That was, oh my gosh. You see, those guys were great, and they get underrated. It's rare that you'll find them in, like, if you go and find the old 90s, like, you'll always find Kurt Cobain, and you always find, Smells Like Teen Spirit and all that stuff. Soul Asylum, it's rare to find them on the, the put together playlist.
Yeah.
It's like I had to go make my own.
Yeah, I really like Soul Asylum. They're fun. They're a solid band.
Yeah, they
Saw
were.
them live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one of the Lollapaloozas I saw them at.
Nice.
Oh, I think it was a Lollapalooza. Pretty sure. It was some, like, grouping of stuff of different bands. I think it was one of the Lollapaloozas. I went to a bunch of those.
One of those band get-togethers.
Yeah, well, Lollapalooza is the one I went to the most of. Aside from, like, the local WAAF ones that they had around the holidays and things, I went to all of those. But
I always got drugged to concerts I didn't want to go to. I've only been to one concert that I can say I actually enjoyed it. That, like, I always got drugged to, like, because I don't know, man. Let's see. I had a cousin drag me to a New Kids on the Block concert. Guess what? As cool as and popular as they were, that was not my fucking jam. I didn't give a fuck about NKMG.
yeah, they're not my jam either. They were never.
But I got drugged to not one, but two of their damn concerts. Let's see. Because boy bands just annoy the fuck out of me. Let's see. There was the NSYNC concert that I brought my girlfriend at the time, Courtney, to for her birthday. And she was just like all in love with NSYNC. But something magical happened that night. Opening for them was Pink. And it was the first time I'd ever heard of her. And she came on stage busting out with There You Go. And I'm like, I fucking love you, my goddess. I worship you and adore you. And that I fucking love that because, like before we even could get home, I already owned 2 CDs and just like this.
She's great.
Yes, she is.
Oh, but here's the funny thing. I hope Courtney doesn't get mad at me for sharing this story if she ever sees this, because I hadn't talked to her in like 5 years now or 7 years now. But anyway, so afterwards we were talking about the concert, right? And she's like, "Oh, that guy that opened up for him." Okay, so the guy that opened up for them was Cisco. It was Thong Song. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh, he's going places. He's going to be everywhere." And I was like, "I liked Pink." Da 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 da. And she's like, "Oh, she's going to be like a one-hit wonder." Boom. Who do we still see everywhere? So you, Courtney.
Pink is amazing. It's just, was it her recent cover of I don't think it's that recent. They used it for the new Matrix movie in the trailer. I'm trying to think of the song, but it's like the best thing about that movie. It's one of those films with the soundtrack's better.
It didn't have to be made.
It was a great cover. It was White Rabbit. Her version of White Rabbit. It sounds so much like the original.
Yeah, the Jefferson Airplane version.
Yeah. It sounds so much like it, but it's just different enough.
Right.
As I played it side by side to my mother, I said, "Which one's which?" And she had to think about it. And she was just like, "The first one." And I'm like, yeah, that was the right one. That was the original.
But see, I like it when an artist can add their own twist to a song and do a cover.
Yeah.
And keep it real. Like Bad Wolves, when they did that tribute to Dolores from the Cranberries.
Yeah,
Zombie. Yeah, they did.
They did amazing.
That was an amazing tribute video.
I love the Cranberries. I miss them
too. Oh yes.
That's a good.
Saw them live a few times too.
Did you really? Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. Like I never got to see anybody like except Pink, which was a fluke at the time, that I really gave a rat's ass about. Like
I've seen Metallica half a dozen times. With various bands that they've played with.
Like back in the day Metallica or Garage Metallica or now Metallica?
Back in the day Metallica.
Okay,
that's early 2000s would have been the last time I saw them. Actually, in the last time I saw them, they played with Mostly they played with Korn. They had Korn. They had let's see, Ugly Kid Joe was there. Remember?
Oh my gosh, that was
we
one
went
hell of a
someplace else during
show.
that. There was like 3 or 4 bands that played, and yeah, it was amazing concert. But the concert time I saw them before that was the best time I saw them. Their Reload album came out or something like that, or whatever the second. They had like 2 albums. Like,
whatever that thing was.
Yeah, I don't. The albums weren't that great, but
no.
That show, we had like, I had like really good seats. I had like row 11 seat, good seats and all that. We come down and the usher looks and goes, "Oh, nope, you're in this row now," because we had to change things around. Row 3.
That's nice.
So that ended up as we're on the wall the entire time for the entire show. And that was great because was it James Hetfield came over and I headbanged with him. It was so good. It was the time I saw Anthrax and I got to have a drink with the lead singer. I had was it a shot of Jack Daniels, the lead singer, during the concert. I can't remember his name, but but yeah, that was a good
very first concert I ever went to was to go see Meatloaf. At the time, I didn't know Meatloaf, but we were, I don't know, maybe 7th or 5th row, and I went with my friend Rich, and he's like, let's walk up, and it's like we went to essentially like front row, and he was sweating all over us. Just like, doing his Meatloaf thing. That guy put everything he had into his shows.
Yeah,
it was great.
And it showed too.
Yeah, I saw Queensryche. They were an early band that I went to see. I saw Def Leppard. That was kind of a neat show.
Nice.
I always thought all their music sounded the same, but they put on a damn good show. Laser beams everywhere. I saw, what was that? Let's see. Been to a bunch of Lollapaloozas. From there, I fell in love with Pearl Jam.
I do love Pearl Jam.
It was the second Lollapalooza. They were like the 3rd band up or something like that, and I just couldn't get them out of my head the entire rest of the concert. So I became a huge Pearl Jam fan. I used to go to like every place that they would play at.
Nice.
Seen Iron Maiden like 4 times. Once they had a different singer. Bruce Dickinson. It was the singer they had for the 2 albums, the X Factor and whatever the one after it was. He was good too. Saw them in a club band, setting like at Mamikins, I think, which is the Aerosmith place. No, it wasn't Mamikins. It was it doesn't exist anymore anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, wasn't there? It was 2 doors down, different club. Still on Lansdowne Street.
I saw live music at CBGB before they closed it, years before they closed it. I was too drunk to know who the bands were.
It was a good time.
Yeah. I did see Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden, so that was great.
He's on my list.
Nice.
He's my bucket list of people I want to see.
Yeah, he was good.
I love his music.
Yeah.
My cat's singing now.
Oh, that was yours? I was like, what does he want?
Yep, that was Hobbs. He's in the bathroom singing.
That sounds fun. Oh, okay.
I'll turn on the shower for him. We can go sing in the shower. Completely different sounding.
Aww. That's where one of my cats, Ripley, is in the bathroom, because if she wasn't, she'd be all over me right now.
Yeah, mine like to come to the door and cry to get in, and then I let them in, and they just want to deal with Dumpling. They don't want anything to do with me, so I'm like, nah, you bastards can stay out there.
Yes, they want lunch.
It's not a snack. Dumplings are friends, not food.
I'll just say this. One of my cats' names was Sushi, so...
That's adorable, actually.
He was one of my favorite cats. I still miss him to this day. I had him for
Yeah, I
quite a
think we
while.
all have that one that stands out forever, I had a Zephyr. He was my Holstein cow looking cat. Long hair and big old black patches on white fur. He was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I got well, Hobbs is definitely a love it. Well, he's a little lovey-dovey, but and Rocket's super cute. So, like, where is Rocket?
Yeah.
There he is. Okay, he's on the bed.
Yeah. I've had too many. Me and my ex got into, I don't know, cat collecting. We have had over 30 cats in the last 10 years. Some we fostered, some we,
Collecting.
So I wasn't wrong when I said that you were a crazy cat guy.
Yes, I am.
You have 2. I'm getting one of Peter's, so I'll have 3. Then I'm done.
Yeah.
I have 3, and I'm past on. Oh my gosh, they drive me crazy.
I have a hard enough time getting to bed with the 2 of them.
I have 3 in my 2 Forsters, which, they'll be finding new homes hopefully soon. Oh, I meant to mention, I haven't heard back from the trans people, but if I don't, I'll send them another message on Monday.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah. It's like that's a thing. Like, since I have Forsters, and it is possible to get Forsters transported throughout the U.S. through various people that do that, and there's a group on Facebook that I'm doing it through. It's really interesting. I'll only do it this once.
Started, and then they're like, "Oh, Weymouth only allows a person to have a max of 3 cats, so we can't deliver these to them." And I'm like, "One's not staying. I don't want 4."
Yeah,
that's literally starting to get into crazy cat lady land, and it's just no.
There's a maximum of cats in her area. We can't bring them there.
But
yeah, I wouldn't want any more. It's too much responsibility now, and then the kids, it's like pulling teeth to get anybody to help with the litter boxes or feedings and stuff. So it's like, yeah, no more animals, period, until the ones we have pass on, and maybe not even then. I think I'm gonna retire. I love animals, but I think I want to love other people's.
I'll always have a cat. I'm pretty sure.
It's work.
Yeah, I'll say that, but I don't
like
think I would ever be without at least one.
Yeah, if I have 1 now, I think I'll always have 2. So I found that they're better when there's 2.
They do tend to keep each other company and entertained and out of as much trouble, unless they go on one of the chasing tangents where they destroy everything.
Oh yeah, I had that last night.
Woo-hoo.
And some this morning.
We had one the other day. So one of the males was neutered late lichen, and so he still has, those male urges, and he likes his brother a little too much sometimes. So last night they were all over the place. Lichen was trying to establish his dominance, and the other 2 were running from him. And my daughter's screaming, chasing behind him, trying to stop him, grab him. Lichen, don't rape your brother. He's just like screaming this at the top of her lungs. And I'm like, the neighbors are going to hear this shit. And all they're going to hear is this little girl screaming, don't rape your brother. Oh my God. And just like, but finally we got him to calm down, gave him some snacks, and he laid up. But still, it was just, oh my gosh. It sounded like a herd of freaking, I don't know what. They were all over the place, knocking everything over, growling. It was like, I don't get it. I'm like, no, don't.
That's funny.
That was great. Don't rape your brother. Just don't do it.
And like screaming too. Like, I mean, like this, girls are so fucking dramatic. It's like, oh my God, they're getting away. The act isn't even happening. Let me just separate them real quick. No, we've got to run through the house screaming rape. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I have some experience in this. So, I think you do too. So
But I mean, she's wild. Oh, she's so wild.
my is it? I was kind of the laid back daughter for that. When it came to the house, as my whole thing was, if I wanted to do something, I thought my parents would say no. I just do it. I
Yeah,
wouldn't tell them.
that was me. I can always apologize later.
Yeah. That was my whole thought. My little sister, she never understood that. I even told her, I'm like, just don't tell them and go and do it because I can't do that. Like, goes, but you're just gonna scream, then I have to listen to you. And she's like, yeah, what does that mean? And she goes, okay.
Whoops.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. We
always
had.
been me. I've been referred to as the Amazon by my friends, with how big I am and stuff. Then you have my little sister, the waif.
Oh no.
Never had to worry about her stealing my clothes.
I get called shrimp and midget a lot,
Yeah.
even by my children now.
No, she wasn't.
boy.
She wasn't short. She just doesn't have my build. Like I'm 6 feet. I did sports all my life and everything. So
Yeah,
And
I
it's a comic book.
did softball and volleyball. Yeah, comic books.
my mother hated the fact I was into comic books.
I didn't get into comics until I was a little older. I mean, I'd read a few, but it really wasn't my thing until MTV Oddities.
Oh,
And when I met the Max and Sam Keefe, my whole world fucking changed. Julie Winters was a goddess. And I still to this day do not think that there has been as, I hate to use this motherfucking term. God, I hate it. Strong female character. Because usually what that means is a toxic male with a vagina. But Julie Winters was the ultimate female character for me. The person, she was weak, she was strong, she was brave, she was scared. She was amazing. Just like, and that was it. And when I realized it was a comic, it was okay, so where can I find this? And that's where it started. And then I found let's see, Rat Queens, I Hate Fairyland, and just it goes on and on and on, and just like, yeah. So never really got into the superhero comics, but the love for what at the time was really indie, really, that's where it started, was with the Max.
Yeah, I can respect that. Oh.
Which I actually had the privilege of introducing Meredith to.
Awesome. When I was young, there wasn't a lot of girls into comics. Not anywhere near what there is today. And
Right.
but I mean, like I had 3 older brothers, and Jimmy is the next one up, and we're only a year and a half separated. So we were really close, and we were both into comics, and so we like, I picked up my comics and he picked up his comics, and we read each other's comics, and that's how we just got into more and more books that way. But you'd see women at conventions, like they would show up at conventions, and but not our local comic store. I don't think it was only boys and guys there.
and let's be real, the majority of women only, like, there are some great female artists, there are some great female cosplayers, I'm not even going to deny it, there are some true female fans, but women are still the minority in comics.
Okay, yeah.
And so, and it's like, my experience wasn't with comics as far as standing out as a female, it was with role playing.
Yeah,
because I was heavy into RPGs, and I'd show up for a campaign, and I swear to God, it was like everything would go silent. It's like,
oh, there's something with tits that just walked in.
Right? And it's like, And I'm thinking the smell. Oh.
Yeah, that would be exactly what I would be thinking. It's like, do you have deodorant?
But yeah, and that's still the same too. There are a
That
few
hasn't
exceptions, but there are so many pseudo fucking nerd girls out there because it's cute and because it's hot and chic now, and it's like, bitch, I'm OG.
Playing back in Redbox. Go to hell.
It's funny. I listened to a podcast that's with 4 different people in the sort of video game industry, and they talked about doing conventions with gamers and whatnot, and then one of the guys starts talking about going to a comic convention. He's like, "Oh, the smell." It's like there's no smell in video game conventions. It's like,
oh, there is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
I've been to PAX.
It's armpits and Doritos.
Yeah, I've been to PAX. I've been to E3. E3 was, at least when I was able to went to E3, it was more of a it wasn't like general public. Like it wasn't hard to get into E3, but it was more of a retailer's convention, like
right.
More of a industry convention.
Right.
I know it's changed. Actually, I don't even think E3 happens anymore, but
I think it's over. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's I think COVID killed it. So
yeah.
And it's PAX now anyway, so but it's like, I've been on there and it's just like
Yeah.
I remember I was near one person who was like, it was so terrible. So I'm like, I'll just take out my perfume and much better. Yep, kept a small thing of perfume on me whenever I went to cons.
Oh my gosh. Just like take it, spray it on your own fingers and be like,
yeah. It's like when it was really bad, I just kind of spray it past me. I remember when my friends like, you've been like perfuming all the guys who smell terrible. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, I heard they handed out like Axe spray at some convention.
Oh, they were doing that for a while at certain gaming conventions.
That's the worst.
Yeah. Better than nothing though.
Yeah.
Some people I think I would prefer than nothing, but
yeah, because it really doesn't cover, it just combines the smells.
Yeah. It mingles.
Spicy
and then
armpit
it spawns and leaches out. Oh god. Oh man. Well, I've come up on an hour. And I need to start to prep because I'm actually going to go play D&D tonight.
Oh, so, nice.
Oh yeah, Nita, if you are interested in maybe running a D&D game online, if you're a gamer and you want to get involved, it's an afternoon game.
I don't know. We'll have to talk more about scheduling because afternoons are kind of iffy for me.
I can respect that. I figured to bring it up.
No, that's fucking awesome.
Now I know you're a gamer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like I'm a selective gamer. I didn't get into all the RPGs, but I did. I still have a love for D&D always. Vampire Masquerade and Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Yeah, I love those games. I used to run LARPing at Gen Con.
Oh, nice. We did some LARPing for Vampire for a good minute in New Orleans. That was it was weird, and the cops were called, and we had to explain what we were doing. But
we didn't have that. We were at a major convention, so
it had nothing to do with cocaine that was there, though.
All right, but anyway, so talk with you all later.
Alrighty, guys. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. You did great.
I'm out. Check us out, and then hey, sub over here too. Do it.
Definitely.
Do it.
Bye.
All the links are down below.
Get down the doobly-doo. And she left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it takes me forever.